Hey, welcome to Jesus Loves Joe. I'm Scott Fairking from Hill Country Fellowship in Burnet, and today's episode of Jesus Loves Joe is going to be a lot different in that the original plan as we looked at 2021 was for me and Matt Netzer to do this one together as we promoted our first time of having coffee for free at Numinous in Marble Falls. So make sure you get to Numinous, enjoy that coffee, or get that spiced apple cider. It's the best in the world. But Matt was supposed to be here with me. And of course, Matt Netzer, amazing husband, wonderful dad, just a great pastor and shepherd. Loved this community and loved people. Most of all, he loved Jesus. And his life was lived for Jesus, and Matt's with Jesus face to face now, forever, eternally with the one who redeemed his soul. So Matt was supposed to be sitting here with me, and we were planning that out, and we just felt like we were going to continue on with the plan moving forward because it's real life as we are on this journey for these 70, 80, 90 years. Loss happens. And at the same time, we all have a goal in mind in following Jesus, in fulfilling His mission of seeking and saving the lost, and of taking the gospel to everyone, discipling and baptizing and seeing them come to a relationship with Jesus, and then loving God and loving people. All that goes into following Jesus. That's what Matt was about. And so we decided we just have an empty chair today in honor of Matt. And more than that, in honor of what he loved so much, which was the Church of Jesus and the community of churches that we all get to be a part of. I loved serving alongside him in this community. He motivated me and he challenged me, and he loved me, and he'll be dearly missed. There's a couple passages I want to read, and just talking about what it means to do life together. What it means to be the church, both the church in our local community, like right here for us, it's Hill Country Fellowship. For some, it's another church in Burnet or in Bertram or Buchanan Dam or Marble Falls or Granite Shoals, whoever it may be. And yet we're all called to be a part of the church as a whole, different churches coming together to see the mission of God fulfilled. There's a passage in Psalm 39, verses 4 through 7, that really stood out to me in looking at life on this earth and what it means to live forward for eternity. David writes this: Lord, remind me how brief my time on earth will be. Remind me that my days are numbered, how fleeting my life is. You have made my life no longer than the width of my hand. My entire lifetime is just a moment to you. At best, each of us is just a breath. We are merely moving shadows, and all of our busy rushing ends in nothing. We heap up wealth not knowing who will spend it. And so, Lord, where do I put my hope? My only hope is in you. As I read that and I think of just the loss that we've suffered here with Matt no longer being here with us, and we continue to pray for Rockpile Church, an amazing church, and the Netzer family. Please keep praying for them and just bless them and love them. But when I think of this passage and I think of Matt's life and I think of the brevity of life, one thing that comes to mind is a quote I read a long time ago where the person said, "I'm not going to die. I just changed my residence," which means it's a win-win. I'm free. I'm free to not only live life well, but to freely love people. The one who said that was Rich Mullins. He was a big influence of mine, a singer-songwriter from back in the day, but influenced me greatly. He sang a song where he said, "Live like you'll die tomorrow. Die knowing you'll live forever. Love like you'll leave tomorrow, knowing that love lasts forever." He was always about making it so important right here and right now, because those decisions made by people right here and right now are forever decisions. Eternity is an awful long time to spend somewhere. And for those of us who know Jesus, well, we're set. We know where we're going. We know where the end is. We know that we don't even really die. We just move from one place, like he said, to another. Our last breath here begins our first breath there. But for those who haven't made a decision to follow Jesus and are walking around on planet Earth, well, eternity is a long time. And so not only do we live the mission of God in seeking and saving the lost, but we do that as a community because it's hard to do that kind of stuff alone. We do that within our churches, and we grow, and we're equipped, and we're loving one another. But then we take that out there, and we lock arms with other churches that love Jesus and love His gospel and want to fulfill His mission. And it's so good to do that together because it shows the world what Jesus says when He says that they'll know that I was sent here from heaven by how well you get along, by the community you live in, by how well you love one another. And I think that's one of the things that was so easy to love Matt and to work side by side with him is that he understood camaraderie and community. He understood the different flavors of the different churches and how well they meshed together. And he was so fun and full of life. He leaves a great legacy. His kids will live out a great legacy because of Dad. His wife will live out the legacy of the Netzer family. Rockpile Church is a legacy. At the same time, it even goes beyond that as long as God tarries and doesn't come back yet. And so we've got a lot to do to plant seeds and to water and to cultivate and just to reach the lost with the gospel. And I think one of the reasons we wanted to draw everyone into Numinous to get coffee is to connect us all. Almost all of us love coffee, or at least I think if you love Jesus, you love coffee. Maybe you don't love coffee, but you can still be converted there. But coffee's a great place, or maybe it's a diner, or maybe whatever it is. It's just a large gathering. But when we get together, it helps us just to break down walls and to do life together and to laugh together. This world's hard, and it seems to be getting harder. This world's tough, and it wants to beat the life out of us. This world is lost, and it wants to take people down, but then there's Jesus. He saved us all. We're redeemed, we're saved, we're bought back with a price. And He says, if you accept this gift of salvation, I expect you to then go and be my messengers, to be the ones to give away free life from me. And so that's why I love the thought of getting together at Numinous, is that we can lock arms together and laugh and smile and say, hey, how are you doing? Or what's going on in your life? And it's not just confined to our own churches, which is good, but it spreads it out more, which is better. As we live the life of the gospel, every day should speak a better word about Jesus and about life in Jesus. I want to wrap it up with this passage here, and then encourage you again to get to Numinous today. In 1 John chapter 3, verse 14, he writes this: if we love our Christian brothers and sisters, it proves that we have passed from death to life, but a person who has no love is still dead. We got to love one another, and we got to love one another well. Today's Jesus Loves Joe is in honor of Matt Netzer because he loved well. He lived the first part of that sentence. If we love our Christian brothers and sisters, it proves we've passed from death to life. He lived that out. He preached that. He taught it. He discipled others in that. The time we have is short, so love each other. The time we have is short, so fellowship deeply. The time we have is short, so be the church community fully, like other churches involved who follow Jesus. It's fulfilling, and it showcases Jesus. There's a book that I started reading again. I've read it a few times in my life. It's called An Arrow Pointing to Heaven. It's kind of a semi-biography on Rich Mullins. I probably started reading it right around Christmas. And then when I heard Matt passed away, like I really thought, you know what? This could be written about Matt Netzer. Matt Netzer was an arrow pointing to heaven, an arrow pointing to Jesus. Let's live that out. Let's love one another fully. Let's speak a better word to this world that's lost and broken. And let's do community together. Let's laugh and weep. Let's be joyful and mourn. Let's walk through rejoicing times and celebrate, and walk arm in arm and hand in hand and shoulder to shoulder during the tough times in community. This is Pastor Scott with Jesus Loves Joe, and hope to see you at Numinous.